Indigenous people should gain their own rights as other people gaining their rights. Do you agree with this statement? Like other people living in the world, Indigenous people also have a number of rights reserved for them. There is no precise definition of who an Indigenous person is. They can be called the oldest among the currently living ethnic groups. According to the data of the United Nations, about 406 million indigenous people live in 90 countries around the world. That's about 5% of the world's population. In the modern world, there is a need to impose the rights inherent in the culture of the indigenous peoples for their development and survival. As the various measures adopted to protect the rights of the indigenous people, in 1995 the International Human Rights Council appointed a working committee to draft an international convention on indigenous peoples. In 2001, the Commission on Human Rights recognized the role of the Special Representative on the human rights and fundamental freedoms of indigenous peoples. In 2002, indigenous peoples had the opportunity to inform the United Nations directly about their problems. On December 22, 2004, the United Nations announced the Second World Decade of Indigenous Peoples. The Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples was enforced by the Human Rights Council and adopted at the 61st sessions of the United Nations on 13 September 2007. The United Nations General Assembly has celebrated the International Day of the World's Indigenous Peoples on August 9 every year since 1995 with the aim of promoting the rights of indigenous people around the world, promoting them and sustaining the indigenous peoples who are facing the threat of persecution, etc. can be pointed out. Although the government and non-governmental organizations have taken various measures to protect the rights of the indigenous people, the violation of their rights as a minority has not ended. As the rights demanded by the indigenous peoples, the right to protect their cultures, self-determination in the areas where they live, preservation of traditional economic activities, the right to their land where they live, representing themselves in every world organization that takes decision about them, etc. can be pointed out. In many countries, indigenous peoples rank high on underdevelopment indicators such as incarceration rates, electricity rates, and unemployment rates. Indigenous peoples should be active in getting their rights just as other people get their rights. Thank you.